Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Transformative Healing, another episode. Tonight, we will be discussing um, the, see, I do this power of purpose. What is your goals? What is your purpose, I should say, for 2025? Because, I don't really want to say goals because how many of us, set a goal and then we just kind of let it go by the wayside, kind of just ends up going. So, what I'd like to talk about is exactly like what is the power of purpose and why is it something that is beneficial for us going into 2025. So, welcome everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I would have been live. I know last night when I was doing my drawing, I said 7:30, but I've been trying to figure out Discord and figure out looking for a membership website. I thought my website, I would be able to do memberships and actually have it to where you could go in and get a you could purchase a membership, like a monthly membership. And then you'd be able to go in like to a secure area on my site. But unfortunately, the website that I have, it doesn't have that. And so, and the plugin for WordPress is like $300 a year. And I was like, yeah, no, thank you. That's crazy. And so I went to, is it Patreon? I went on there and so I have everything on there. But the problem is that with Discord, and if anybody knows that's on Discord, I need to be able to see when people are drawing so I can evaluate their drawings and not, I can look at them and know what they're doing. And so trying to figure out that aspect or, trying to figure out how I can integrate Zoom into Patreon. So there's just so many different things going on. And so, so I was, out here trying to get busy doing that because that is one of my things that I want to do in 2025. So, good for you, Scott. You're down 11 pounds. That's good for you. Yeah, healthy eating is really good. Just make sure that you are eating protein and healthy fats because that'll really help you too. It'll help you stay full longer. Are you doing any fasting, like a 16/8 fast? Or are you just trying to eat healthier? It's good to see you. It's good to see Michael. Sly Fox is here. Good to have each and every one of you. If you would hit the like button and if you would share, that would be amazing. I'd really appreciate it because, again, you just never know when somebody out there will run across one of my videos and be able to help them on their own journey. So the power of purpose refers to the idea. Hi, Anna. Refers to having a clear, meaningful sense of a purpose in life. And so by doing that, it leads to a greater fulfillment, maybe motivation, healing, transformation. And what that does is it helps us, you see growth personally. So personal growth. You might see achievement, resilience, resilience in the face of challenges. And I was going to say, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I forgot on her YouTube. She does have a begging beagle there. And so, and as a mental health and trauma podcast, it doesn't have to be about that. But, looking back in 2024, leading into 2025, are there areas in your life or do you notice a pattern? I was looking at something. Do you notice a pattern that happens every year around the same time? So for me, yes. What I have found is usually, like I've shared before, so usually between November and after Christmas, sometimes I get like, I don't get sick, but I feel like I have like extreme fatigue. And just some other things happen. And so Now I see that it's a pattern, that it happened. So now what I want to do is I want to be proactive and I want to look at what I can do during those months. So maybe it's a form of the seasonal affective disorder, which is seasonal depression. And so it would be nice to be able to look back and say, hey, okay, like I have this, this, and this. What can I do so coming in 2025, those types of challenges don't affect me, per se. And so that's kind of, the purpose. It's looking at change. It's looking at how you can look at something and for the change, the better. Something that's going to help you grow, um, and kind of being that motivational, strong force behind why you do what you do. There you go. That's really good. Good for you. Eating healthy. A lot of people, I've shared this, but eating healthy is huge, whether you're diabetic or not. But when you have mental health issues, 95% of your serotonin is made in your gut, and you have to eat some sort of carbs, and because the carbs are the transmitters that actually get the serotonin up into the brain and stuff. So just remember to eat some, healthy carbs along the way as well. Yeah, that whatever Preston's on is disgusting. Oh man, it's gross. So you wouldn't even if you were on that holy mackerel, I tell you to stay 50 feet away from me. So as we go into 2025, does anybody have I don't it's not really even a goal, but um do you have a purpose that you want to see grow in 2025? What are some things that you'd like to do in 2025 that maybe you didn't get a chance to do in 24, um, and that you really want to do in 25? So some of the things for me, um, and kind of the motivation behind it, because we are a mental health and trauma podcast. So what I'd like to do is be able to develop more of my drawing, like my membership, where we'll do drawings and stuff like that. Um, and so that is one thing. I would obviously want to continue to do this and really have a lot more um, subscribers on my channel and stuff like that. And the purpose behind that is because of helping people. I want to be able to bring truth. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to help transform lives. I don't want people to be stuck in the rumination that they can't heal from the things that they've endured in life. And so those are things that I'm really looking at doing, coming into 2025, and really giving a lot of clarity and direction as into what is my purpose, and why do I want to do it? What is the motivation behind it, and why? Um, and so, again, I want to be able to help people. So, anybody have anything that they're looking forward to in 2025? Being able to influence others, um, is a really, really good thing too. So when you can relate to people from circumstances or events that you have endured, and really listen, and really be supportive. Healthier lifestyle, absolutely. No, I didn't see yours. Oh, when the KBF NC, yeah, I did see that. I just wasn't, I kind of skimmed over it, but yes. And so we'll start with you. So, how would you win, or what is the purpose or the motivation behind you winning that? Like, what are your goals that lead up to you winning that? Because obviously you're just not going to go to you just don't want to show up, but what are you doing before you go? What's setting you up for success? And so it's the same thing with you too, Scott. You said that you want a healthier lifestyle. So it's the same thing. What's setting you up for success? What are you doing to set yourself up with a purpose? What is your purpose? I mean, you already said your purpose was to get um, your A1C, I'm assuming, get that down and your diabetes under control and whatever else. Um, but in order for it to stick, there has to be a purpose with it. Yes, your purpose can be that, um, but you have to have a motivational factor behind it. Because that's why people end up falling off. That's why I'm saying, what is your purpose? What are you doing? Goal setting, I don't do goal setting because a lot of us, we say, oh, we have a New Year's resolution. And then like within the first week, we fall off the bandwagon. And so when you give it kind of power and authority, not really in a sense of like people over you, but, helping you achieve what you want to achieve, um, you'll get there. And it's not looking at the master plan. What it is, it's looking at, it would be looking at like small goals in between to get you to that big goal is what it would be. Well, absolutely. I mean, and Scott's funny, and to beat your hubby in the catch-22, that would be cool. That's funny. I like it. But yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's the same thing with like with me doing this. There's people on there that have tons of subscribers and tons of followers and and all that stuff and doing all kinds of stuff. But the key is to never give up, to just continue to move forward. And so it's the same thing with my mental health conference that we're doing in February. It's the same thing. All these other conferences, they have I don't know what on earth, I'm sorry, but for some reason, I keep getting like a real big blurry spot, and it's already blurry enough, but and it's the same thing with my conference. All of the speakers that are speaking, we're all trauma survivors, but we're professionals. But what makes us stand out is that we're all trauma survivors. So we know what trauma does to us firsthand. We're not looking and being educated out of a book. And so, but what we're up against is we're up against big names. We're up against big names where these speakers get, $10,000, $15,000 to come in and speak for 45 minutes. And so I agree. I want people to see that rise up from trauma, that we are professionals, that we don't, we are just as good as the professionals out there. And kind of make a name for yourselves, make a name for ourselves. And I guess that's kind of what it is. Well, I wasn't using my shirt. I was actually using what I was using. I was using my little cloth, but it smears every once in a while. I don't know. I need new glasses anyway. I've come to realize this. And so, that's the thing. It's believing. It's believing that you can be just as, good as the pros. And so going into the conference, that's what I believe. I believe that, that I can be better or the same as the professionals that are getting 10, 15,000. Yeah, I probably do. And things like that too, which is huge. So, and that's another good thing too, Scott, when you said feel better and for yourself, and that's, that's another good thing when it comes to, how do we see ourselves? But what I want you to understand is this, and obviously, I come, when I say this stuff, a lot of people think, well, she just thinks she knows it all. No, when you get to know me and know my heart, you'll know that I'm really speaking out of the most love and understanding and coming at things in a very, very compassionate way. And what people don't understand is this: when you go on a health journey, when you are trying to lose weight and you're trying to do different things, this is where the purpose really comes into play. It's because looking at it and going, okay, what am I going to do? Why do I want to do this? Looking at your mental health. because a lot of times what ends up happening is when we end up getting depressed or anxious and things like that, we have a tendency to eat. We have a tendency to overeat. We have a tendency to overthink, which fuels us to overeat or to go grab a snack or to do something else. And so that's why it's very, very important to take care of your mind when you're taking care of your body. Really looking at when you feel hungry, are you really hungry or are you anxious? And what are you eating? And so I can really tell, I can relate, and I can say this. I usually don't eat a whole lot of sweets. And at least I try not to. Like I'll snack on like maybe 4 or 5 chips, then have a couple pieces of cheese. I have a allergy to dairy, so I really can't have a whole lot of dairy. Or what ends up happening is my lip will end up turning red and itching, the whole 9 yards. And so I really am mindful about what I'm eating and stuff, but really mindful about what I'm eating. I try to be anyway. Well, over Christmas, we ended up making this stuff. And so we ended up making this stuff. It's called white trash, and it's white chocolate, Chex Mix, pretzels. We put M&Ms in it, and it was really good. And I don't know how many bags I ate, probably 4. And normally I wouldn't eat that. We made puppy chow. Charles and I made puppy chow. I ended up ordering some stuff from a gal that we know that does a lot of bakery things. And so over the course of the last almost week, I have indulged in junk, and I am feeling it today. Like I am bloated and I cannot stand it. And so today I have only ate 1 time. And then of course I'm bloated, and what does Sly Fox bring in but a cinnamon roll? And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But it was just there. And so it was good. It was there. It was something quick. And so I was eating it. If it's out of sight, out of mind, normally I don't. Yeah, I know, you're a wise guy. And so normally I don't. I remember going through, and I'm only telling you guys, obviously, I remember going through I was 3 months into my certification program, and I was doing yeah, he is bad, but it tasted so good though. But I was like, oh man, I'm going to regret this later. I'm going to have to really go on like a 72-hour fast because this is just nuts. Holy mackerel. And so I remember sitting there, and we had to do an essay type thing on, something that we grew up in. And I remember I shared this with my brother. I remember doing my essay. It was on my brother, and looking back how alcohol, coming from an alcoholic and drug infested family, and how the intergenerational trauma had, kind of trickled down. And how alcohol was the driving force for one of my brothers, and it was a coping skill, and I see that, and that's kind of what I was learning. And I remember sitting there, and I was writing out my essay or whatever I was writing, and I can't think of the other word. That's and I looked over, and before I knew it, I had ate a whole bag of chips and a bunch of cheese, and I was like, "What the heck?" It didn't dawn on me. But in the moment, because of what I was speaking of was a trigger to me, and it was a trigger that I didn't know was a trigger, I had got up in the midst of it, I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know what I was doing. I got up, got the chips, sat down, and just started eating as I was writing. And again, before I knew it, I went to reach in the bag, and the whole bag was gone. And I was like, holy mackerel. So why I'm telling you this is out of the utmost respect, as because I'd love to see people transform. I love to see people change. That's why I do this week after week. And so just pay attention, not just Scott, myself, but, maybe this is for somebody else. Really pay attention, when you go up and yes, you did bring me a hot cup of tea, and I appreciate you. When you are eating healthier and you're trying to change, make sure that you're working on your mind as well, your mind and your body, because remember they go hand in hand, because the some of the past events ends up getting tied up within our body, on the cellular level. So just make sure you're really paying attention to what's going on. You'll hear a lot of people that will they'll go down and lose a bunch of weight, and then all of a sudden they gain it all back. And a lot of times what ends up happening is they have a lot of past traumas, and they haven't dealt with them yet. And so that's why. And I'm one of them. And now that I identify that, I'm able to say, okay, I want to be able to eat a little bit healthier. I want to be able to do this. Not that I want to be able to, I don't want to be a skinny mini, but I want to be a little bit healthier because my kids are still young. I want to be able to get out there and be able to play football, with my son at 50 and throw the ball, and play football with him. I want to be able to, run around with my 7-year-old, just things like that. And so those are things that I stay and, keep in mind, because I'm like, okay, there's some parents that don't do that with their kids, and they're younger than we are. And so I want to be able to have that, I want to be able to do that with my kids for a long time. And things like that too. So, yeah, well, he's buns too. I'm buns. All right. And so, yeah, just really paying attention to things. Hey, you know what? You tell them. I had to think for a minute. Yeah, I might be buns, but who gets out there and actually plays with them? So I'm the one that ends up hurting, and, my arms hurt, my back hurts, everywhere else hurts, but, it's all right. Yes, it will. And oh, I know he can hear me, and that's all right. He's wacko tobacco. Scott, and that's a good thing. Getting out, you're going to be able to, pedal drive your kayak would really be a good thing too. That's a lot of physical exercise as well, and things like that too. So it's really looking at what is your purpose? What do you want to achieve for 2025? And what is the meaning behind it? And things like that too. Because once you have a meaning behind it, you want to do it a little bit more, and things like that too. So it really helps in those aspects as well. And so another thing that I'd like to do is, besides my memberships and so my ultimate goals, purpose, I'm just going to say goals for myself, is well, yeah, we know it is, but you get out there a little bit, you'll actually maybe be able to work it a little bit more. Some of the things that I'd like to do. So my purpose, with the trauma and mental health community, is to really help a lot more people through my art, through my coaching. So those are, and obviously through the YouTube, to be able to help in that aspect of things too. So sorry, something over here is driving me bananas. So I have to organize it real quick because it's driving me nuts. So I apologize. There, it's a little bit better. You can't see it, but I can. It's driving me bananas. So yeah, so making sure. So I'd love to see my channel grow. There's a lot of different things that I'd love to do. I'd love to be able to get more clients. I'd love to be able to get both of my memberships full, and things like that too. There's a lot of different things that I would absolutely love. And then last, what I'd like to do is I would like to develop a deeper relationship with God, and just continue to keep going. So last year in January, God gave me a word. It was pour in. And so I started pouring into people, biblically, spiritually, but giving them empowerment and inspiration, and things like that too. And that was one of the reasons that I finally decided to start going live, because as you all know, I've told you before, one of the things that I don't like is public speaking, but here I am, killing it because I'm on this mission. The mission is that it's me against 1 million, but what I'm realizing is now I'm getting more people over to my side. So now I might have like 10 in 1 million. And so ultimately the goal is at the end is to have 1 million on our side and maybe have one person or none on the other side. And so that's kind of how this ultimately works. Absolutely, mental health should always be on the top of everybody's list. If you're not taking care of your mental health and you're not doing self-care, so it should be mental health and self-care. If you're not doing those hand in hand, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but you may not be successful at a lot of things because you really need to be at your optimal mental health in order for everything else to kind of flow freely and to flow, more smooth for you. Especially having the power of your mind, because the mind is a powerful thing. As we know, the mind can control us if we don't control it first. And there's a lot of people that allow the mind to control them, and then they end up having a lot of ruminating thinking. There's a lot of things that end up going. And so I don't want any of that to happen. So really making sure that you're taking care of your mental health. That's a huge, huge one, which is really big. And so again, it's looking at patterns. What were some of the patterns in 2024 that you noticed? Patterns that you noticed you were doing that they may not have been the greatest patterns, but you're like, come 2025, I want to change those. And stuff like that. And and changing the patterns that we have ultimately changes us. Getting away from maybe, old traditions that are not suiting you. They're not doing things like that would really be another huge thing too. So yeah. So really again, looking at what you're doing. Another good thing that you can do to kind of keep track of things that you're doing would be to maybe keep a journal. I know some of you do journaling, and look at the journaling, and write down so you can see where your goals are. Like what goals, what little mini goals are you looking at that are going to help you achieve your big purpose? And that's really what you want, which is good. Um, trying to think of something. So let me ask. So how can you stay connected to your purpose during difficult or uncertain times? Yes, they're both really, really good. Oh, yeah, I thought, yeah, never mind. Yeah, journaling. I thought it said something else. See, my eyes, I'm telling you, my eyes are like, I need to get new glasses. That's something that I really need to get those. But yes, journaling. Journaling is huge because it takes what's up here and puts it down on paper. And a lot of times that's all that's needed, putting that on paper. So journaling is huge. Doodling, and things like that too. 40 circles is another good thing that I enjoy doing as a way. It's part of neurographica art. And I showed my client this morning. This I have one. I have some other ones, but this is a small one that I did. I really enjoy doing this. I don't know if there's actually 40 circles here. There probably is. Who knows? But the circles represent harmony, and then I'm actually connecting it to the outside world. This is the field line that represents the universe, while mine represents God. And then, sorry, I just had a brain fart. And then I am affixing with the circle, which is I'm harmonizing. And so when I affix it, what it's doing is it's actually imprinting on my conscious level, and that's where the change will start to begin, I mean, and that's where all the changes within the drawing. So yeah. See, I have a nice pair of glasses. They're actually in the house too. I've had those for quite a while. And so the lenses for them are a little bit more expensive. They are Coco Song. They're actually Italian. I've had them for, I don't know, about 5 years or so. And they're such, I just love them. They have purples and greens and oranges, I think, in with them, like all those colors. And they got feathers. And they're just a really, really cool glasses. And so I'm going to take them, and I want to have new glasses put into those too, because I've even tried readers, just over the counter readers, and they're all right. Like if I'm looking at my phone, but if I want to read or read my Bible, I really have trouble. And so then I have to go on my phone, and then of course we know what happens when you get on your phone. Then I want to scroll through Facebook and everything else. And I was like, well, just defeats the purpose. And so yeah, so I will get new ones eventually. So there, but yeah, so the 40 circles I really like. I really like doing a lot of that, those different things too. So I just can, learn as what I've learned doing the Neurographica. I just can't. I don't want to continue to keep talking about it, but it's just something that I absolutely love, and it really has been a game changer for me, and being able to really get the trauma, out. It's releasing the past without reliving the past, and then it's actually coming out of the cellular level too, which is what I absolutely love. So I like being able to see about different things and stuff like that, and see it, watch it come to, from the dark to the light, which is a huge thing as well. So what else is everybody doing tonight? Yeah, you do need to get new glasses. Your glasses took a hiatus. I don't know. I don't know if somebody stole them, somebody sat on them and broke them and trashed them. I don't even know, but for some reason the suckers grew legs and disappeared. Oh, that's where she always sleeps. Yeah, relaxing is always a good thing. Relaxing. Have you tried guided meditation yet, Scott? At all? Guided meditation is wonderful. Matter of fact, oh yeah, that's definitely not the one I was looking for. Let's see if I can find the other one. I've only got like 20,000 editions of this. Oh, I thought I had the other one. I know I have it somewhere. Huh. Oh, I'm looking for something really quick, but I thought I had it over here, but I guess I don't know where it is. Oh, you have a dog, Scott? Oh, I guess I don't. I thought I. Oh. So you should really try. Yeah, crossword puzzles are really good. That's a really good one too. Crossword puzzles. I'm like a Scrabble fanatic, and so And so I love doing what's it called? Solitaire something. I gotta get off here because let me get off this one. It's gonna be beeping at me and it's gonna drive me nuts. It's like a solitaire Scrabble, and I really like that one. I love being able to do that as well, um, which is really good. And it helps. What it does is it helps, obviously, not obviously, but it helps to activate the brain and to kind of keep you in that critical thinking stage of things. So a pug named Yukon. Aw. Um, so I went back through. I thought I had one somewhere floating around, but I guess not. And I think I told you last night, but I don't know what I would have did with it. I could have sworn I had another one on here with I don't know what I did with it with the right cover on it. But anyway, um, we have a beagle and she's just a brat. She begs for food thanks to me. Um, and so what I love is, not that I'm self-promoting, maybe a little bit, but not trying not to, is when I went back and redid my workbook. I'm going to show you if I can find it. So it actually has, which it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It has like 11 pages for healthy boundaries. And so just to tell you, when it comes to boundaries, you really have to put yourself first. And if you're a people pleaser, you really need to work on that first. Because I can't say you can't set boundaries with people pleasing, but it's going to make things very, very difficult. And a lot of times what ends up happening when why people cannot, sorry, I'm having a lot of technical difficulties tonight that are really driving me insane. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just overstimulated, overtired. I don't even know. So anyway, when you become a people pleaser, it makes it even worse. And being able to say no is kind of a trauma response as well, because a lot of people, when you say no, sometimes people look at it that it is a like a negative term. And so I'm going to put this in here just in case. It might not work. Okay, there you go. I guess it worked. Maybe. What did it do? Come up at 12? Oh, it came up at both. Oh, it didn't. Oh, it just didn't fit in one. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, I was trying to put the workbook in there. If any of you wanted to order it, well, if you wanted to, you can let me know. You can order it off there. But anyway, and so, yeah, see, you're saying no. Yep. But anyway, if going back to what you said about, working on boundaries and stuff like that, you have to learn to put yourself first. You have to really learn to, if you're a people pleaser, you really need to figure out where that's coming from. That's a pattern. You have to really look at digging deep into the root cause of what is the root cause of your people pleasing, and then kind of go into, some different things to help you uncover why with the boundaries. And so most of us, our boundaries is because one, we lack self-love. So instead of, when there's a lack of self-love, it becomes we self-sabotage sometimes. And so, there's all kinds of different things. Now, what kind of dog do you have, Michael? Yeah, we had a lab that liked to eat like underwear and socks and whatever else, I guess. Yeah, she is a dirt digger. I was just, yeah, I figured it was for him. I just kind of giggled because you said no. And that was kind of what we were on. Yeah, she's a brat. And so it's really looking at, again, why are boundaries? Yeah, she would eat socks, underwear, you name it. She'd be trying to eat it. She was a nut. Our old Lao that we had. But my workbook is on Amazon, and so it's over. I added a bunch into it. It's over. I don't know. It's like 219 pages, 220 pages or something in there. But I have a lot of different things in it, from learning about what is trauma, going all the way into trauma, helping you understand what trauma is, what are the after effects of trauma, what like boundary setting. I mean, there's tons of things in there. A ruminating mind. So it's about 200 pages, filled with all kinds of good stuff. So, yeah, I know. I miss that doggy. She was a good dog. She was one of the best ones we had. So, yeah. So boundaries, like I said, healthy boundaries goes back to putting yourself first, and really learning to love yourself. And then going back to guided meditation. Guided meditation is something that's really good, um, to really help relax, get focused, bring your mind back to center. So your dog's so your dog's just a mixed mutt then. That's funny. Well, sometimes those types of dogs, well, mixed mutts are good. Um, yeah, and dogs are good. Dogs are good for emotional support too. So they're really good as well to kind of help you when you're feeling down and things like that. You can just, they'll maybe jump up with you and let you pet them and stuff like that, and it kind of diverts your energy and stuff that's going on anyway. I don't know. I must have hit my camera. Did something got my camera way out of whack too. So, which is good. Um, I was trying to think another, for like people pleasing is or not imperfection. Sorry, it's perfectionism. You have some perfectionism, um, that can really get in the way as well. Oh boy. Does your dog have pica? That's funny. That's what the pediatrician would be asking if you went in and told them that your child was eating all kinds of that stuff. Oh boy, if that dog was eating some kind of those gummies, holy mackerel, that would be funny. That is funny as all get out. I think that cinnamon roll and that tea is getting to me. Back of my neck is starting to itch. Holy mackerel. Must have woke up with the munchies. That is hilarious. How funny. Mm-mm-mm. So what else are you looking forward to in 25? Hit the lottery, win big? That's what I said. No wonder why the thing was eating drywall and carpet. Must have thought it was eating potato chips. That's funny. That's a good one, Anna. And you will. I know you'll do really good and really paying attention and a lot of the hands-on experiences and stuff like that is really good. So, which is good. Hands-on is really good. I'm kind of a hands-on type of person, visual and hands-on, which is really nice. I don't like to really read from a book. I don't mind reading if I absolutely have to, but I really like to be shown, visually and then hands-on is something that I really like. And so I think you'll gain a lot of knowledge, being in the classroom and stuff like that too. And just, really getting a feel for how teachers do things and kind of evaluating and see what you need to do, when you become a teacher in the next couple of years. Yes, absolutely. See how it's done, see the experience, see everybody else does it, and then you can kind of tweak it however you need to and things like that, which is huge. Yep, always win the lottery. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Win the lottery, retire, fish for the rest of your life. Yep, there you go. It's all right. If I won the lottery, I'd still be doing this. I'd still do what I'm doing. I just have a big passion to help people. So until I get a million people on my side, might be till the day I die, but I have a purpose. And I'm going to fulfill that purpose by trying to help as many people as I can to let them know truth. So here I am. Yep, she'll be doing good. It'll be good for her. Get the experience and stuff like that, which is really nice because that's how you gain, like she said, the knowledge and how things are going to work. So, which is really good, which is good. Oh yeah, and it is, and that's why I said, you got that learning experience, looking at what other teachers do and things like that, and really looking at the benefits of it and taking, what's going to be beneficial for you and how you can use that in the classroom. Oh, excuse me. How you could use that in the classroom and how because you still have 2 years left and so in 2 years things may change drastically in those 2 years and so at least taking it looking at it and then looking and saying okay how can I tweak this so it'll work in my classroom which is really nice. One of the things that I love and Anna and I were talking about this is that when we had Amy and Dr. J on and stuff and so I've started doing this with my daughter um, is not with Anna, but with Alex, and is and Anna and I were talking about this, is like, how many times, even growing up, us growing up, and the teacher would be like, oh, you got to do this, or the art teacher would say, oh, you got to do this, this, and this, and they would give you all the supplies and tell you it'd have to look just like this. But what happens when you give the kids the supplies and you say, here, just go do what you got to do, and be creative, do things that you're doing, use what I gave you, but create something on your own. And so what you're doing is you're actually instilling that creativity into them. You're allowing them to expand. And so as adults, it's the same thing. When you're creating things, sometimes I like to think outside the box and do different things, and make it look different. And that's why I tell people, somebody commented on one of my videos that when I had posted about what neurographic art was, and they're like, well, how can there be a right and wrong way if there is a right or wrong way? And so what I meant was, there's really no right or wrong way, because everybody's drawing is different, because it's what the subconscious is leading you, and you intuitively draw your neural lines. And so it's the same thing, opening up that creativity within you to be able to design and draw something, and build, or whatever you're doing, something that doesn't look like your neighbor. You know what I mean? Your neighbors, whatever they're building, you know what I mean? Thinking and doing something different that is unique to you, and opening up your creativity, channeling what is it that you want to do. And so that's what these kids need. They need to be able to have their creativity opened up, because that's going to help them in life. That's going to help them develop a lot of skills in life that they need. A lot of critical thinking skills. And so really being able to see the growth and help them in those learning experiences. Yep. Oh yeah, and it does. Giving the kids their creative freedom helps build independence and creativity, and it does. Again, it gives them the critical thinking skills, and it lets them, allows their creativity to come out, because you're not looking at, again, you're not giving them, you're not giving 20 of your kid all 20 kids a snowman, and putting a picture and saying this is what it has to look like, because all those kids may not be able to put the carrot nose on the snowman on the front of his face, so it may go over by his ear, or the buttons, the buttons may not be on the front, the buttons may be down the side. And so it's really looking at that. And there's some kids, and so just not even giving them looking what a snowman looks like, say, here's what it is, here's the freedom, you build whatever you want, whether it's a snowman, whatever you want to do. And so I love that there's a lot of teachers that are starting to do that now, really opening up for that, which is really good. This is really, really good. So, so that's something good. Bored of. I was trying to figure out a car drove by. And then they stopped, and then they backed up, and then they went forward, and then they backed up again. Now they turn around, they're coming back down the street. It's funny when they do that. We live on a dead end, so it's always, kind of funny when people come down our road, because they think they can cut across our road to get to the country road, and they can't. It ends with a house. And so I'm always looking out going, well, they must not live on our street, because they're trying to do whatever. And that's exactly what happens. And that's good. No, they don't. I mean, even though at the beginning of the road it says dead end, but nobody ever reads the sign anyway. They're all a bunch of goobers. Nope. I mean, just like they can't even read the speed limit. Speed limit's what, 25? And we have a neighbor that likes to go 90. So what I'd like to do is I have, those lights you put out, like the spotlights you put out, Well, we have some that you put the cover over it and it's like green and red. I actually took it out of my Christmas stuff and I said, I'm going to take the cover off of it. Um, and between our house and where the sidewalk is, there's no sidewalks on our side of the road. The sidewalk is across the street. So it's not far, but my son has to walk, the rest of our house, the neighbor's house, and it's across from our two neighbors down, and then it's across. And our yards are big. So, the neighbors, so I always worry because this Cracker Jack always flies down the road. And so I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that spotlight down the road. So then I know that my son, he can get to the sidewalk safely, and maybe that bozo will be able to see him. Because when my other son lived with us, the guy almost hit my son several times, like the mirror like touched his arm, and so it's just crazy. Just what a dingbat he is anyway. So I do worry about that, but yeah, she's yep, yes, we do. Especially teachers that are trauma informed when it comes to behaviors, mental health, trauma, things like that. And she's heard enough from me. Um, mean to little kids, only to her sister and her brother, I should say. Um, I just think that's really, really important when it becomes being a teacher, is really being trauma informed, really looking at the situations with kids and why they have behavioral issues. And I don't think that you should single out kids at all. There's a reason. So, just like, again, it's interesting because, we were learning when we were on here a couple weeks ago, and one of the girls that was bullying, the girl that was bullying my daughter is now bullying another daughter, or not. My daughter was bullied by a girl that is bullying another girl now. And the teacher called the mother a liar and said, oh, well, I haven't seen her bully anyone. And so she has been bullying this other girl. And so it starts in the home. And so for my daughter, I'm hoping for her to see it. She'll be able to handle things in a different way, and she'll see things in a different perspective. And not that you can go to the family and be like, hey, your kid's doing this, this, and this. No. Hopefully she'll be able to handle it a little bit different. So they're not sent to the office every day, or, their desk isn't sat outside the classroom. They don't miss parties and all that stuff like, a couple of my kids did, which was, pretty pathetic. So, which is sad. Things like that too. So it's really important to be, trauma informed when it comes to dealing with some stuff. And, because again, mental health and trauma, there's a correlation between them. And so it's always really good. And so I am constantly saying, like, get to the root cause, because a lot of these professionals, what they do is they don't know, they're only book smart. So they only look at what they were taught in a book. They don't have a lot of the life experiences. And so they'll just kind of lead you on a path and never look at what the root cause is. They just go and look at the signs and symptoms. Well, that doesn't get to the root cause of what's causing the signs and symptoms. So, I mean, it's no different if you go to the doctor and you have a headache. They're going to treat you for a headache, but when realistically speaking, they should find the root cause of what is causing your headache. But then what happens? Oh, come back and see us in a couple of weeks if your headache still persists. Well, okay, now they're trying to find the root cause of what's causing your headaches. And so it's really no different when it comes to trauma and mental health. What is causing your outrage? What is causing this, especially in children, especially with mental health and all that stuff not mental health, sorry. It is on the rise, but, with a lot of video games and things like that too. So makes a huge difference. which is huge. So what is one word that you want to go into 2025 with? Oh, it's a good one. What popped in my mind was confidence. Having more confidence in myself that I can do it, because sometimes we all get imposter syndrome likes to take over. And so even though I know that I can do it, um, and kind of see. Anybody else have a word that may have came to mind for 2025? What's MO? Or MO? Like, hey, that's my MO? Or is that money? Oh, is that what that is? Money? So what do you want to do? More money? More money, honey? Knowledge? That's a good one. Well, yeah, we'd all like to have more dollars, wouldn't we? A little bit more money in the bank, a little bit more money on their safe, the whole 9 yards. Have money coming out our ears. More money, more dollars, whatever. What are you trying to be like? More money, like that movie? Goofball. I also want to put up. I got to remember how to get over here now, because I'm like, man, how do I get over? It's been a while since I came over here. Put this on here from our. Might as well just do my little thing about it. The Rise Up from Trauma. The Rise Up from Trauma is Rise Up from Trauma and Mental Health Conference. It always gets me every time, because I want to say Rise Up from Trauma, Mental Health, and Trauma. No. So Rise Up from Trauma and Mental Health Conference is happening February 21st and 22nd, all virtually. As of right now, we are looking at, we have a special, which is the 149. And that includes, I don't know how many pre-conference. I think I have 11 pre-conference sessions you can attend. So for the first 2 weeks leading up into the conference, you can attend. There's 11 additional sessions. They're all times of the day. Yeah, he's I don't know, he's wacko tobacco maybe. And so 11 pre-conference sessions. They're morning, afternoon, evening. They will be recorded. Um, and if you just want to see about, going in and doing some of the pre-conference times and things like that, let me know because those, instead of doing a conference ticket, you can always, those each edition, or sorry, each session to attend is 25, which is actually, a pretty decent, um, pretty decent price for those. If you do want to attend the conference, so what you do for the 149, that's for trauma survivors, families, single moms, students. Um, the 149 will give you access to the entire conference. You get access to all 11 of the pre-conference sessions. It gets you access to, I don't know how many breakout and workshop sessions. I think we're up to 28. And so obviously you probably wouldn't be able to attend all 28 of them, but you'll be able to attend one like every hour. So I don't remember. I think there might be like 5 on Friday, 6 on Saturday, or 6 and 7, something like that. Um, and so that's all included. You'll walk away with a lot of tools and resources that you can use on your own healing journey, on your own recovery, a lot of trauma and mental health. It'll be a lot of breakouts. There'll be a lot of workshops. So you'll learn a lot of the hands-on tools, a lot of the resources that are needed. There's so many different things that are happening in this conference. And so for 149, you just can't beat it because there's so many other conferences that the prices are, $500, $600, $700 to be able to attend a conference at this multitude. But we're trying to, because we're just starting out, trying to get our audience built and things like that. Trying to, because we believe that trauma survivors, those that struggle with mental health, that's who we're trying to reach. And so we firmly believe that, that's our audience that we can get, being able to educate and give you the tools and resources that you can take away and use starting the same time. And so we have a payment plan, things like that too. So the ticket's 149. You can take 6 months to pay. And so it's riseupfromtrauma.com. You'll see all of the speakers, all of the speakers, their bios, what their topics are, if they have a pre-conference session, everything that we're doing. We were looking at probably doing one again in the summer in person, but you know what? If this goes well, we might just continue to do it virtually. It just makes it a lot nicer. Although I do like in person, if I can get helpers and things like that too. But virtual, there's a lot of different things, a lot of phenomenal speakers. Again, they're all trauma survivors, come from a lot of different backgrounds with trauma and things like that too. So. Oh, February 9th we do. We have a date in Columbus. Oh, I better write that down. February 9th. Oh, that's a Sunday. You sure it's a Sunday? Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I had it right. What'd you say, the 9th? So it's the Boat Expo? All right. All right, just so I know. As I have a pre-conference that Saturday. That's why I wanted to make sure what was going on. July in Vermont. What are we doing in Vermont in July? Yes, we will. That would be pretty cool. I was going to wear mine last night when I was out here drawing and stuff, just something that was a little bit light and, um, so, well, yeah. So how far are you from Massachusetts? I don't remember how far, or from Boston, I should say. Not just the line, but how far are you from Boston? All right, I got a road on my calendar for February 9th. Oh, so I see you're 3 hours away. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. We'll figure out something. Not maybe we can meet halfway and figure out something. Well, then you can go to Vermont and fish. That'd be all right. You can take you a week. Never heard of that before. Although I don't know a lot of the north towns either, just around where I grew up and was raised. I don't think I've ever been to, I don't know. I don't think we've ever been to Vermont, been to Connecticut. Maybe you can get Jermaine to join in. Oh, okay. That's why I've never heard of it. Maybe you can get Jermaine to join and you guys can all go fishing. Which would be pretty cool. Then you can go, and if you don't bring a kayak, well, you can do some bank fishing. Flop down in your chairs and whatever else, which would be good too. Which would be pretty good. Oh, that's pretty cool. That'd be pretty good. Have to see what happens. And then what is the thing in Cincinnati? What is that when they're doing the supposed to be doing the other thing in Cincinnati, I guess, or whatever the other thing they're doing for fishing. Oh, June it is. Okay, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember when it was. And is that a tournament or what are they doing? Okay, that's what it is. So if there's any fishing fanatics that happen to see the video, um, the KBF, Catch 22, Fishing Chaos, whatever it is, um, they actually do a lot of fishing for heroes on the water, things like that too. You can win some amazing prizes and stuff like that too, which is pretty cool. So what we were talking about is they're doing a kayak adventure series tournament coming June to Springfield, Ohio, and so it's a really neat if you like fishing, bass fishing, kayak fishing, whatever you're doing. It's a really good sport. It's a really good mental health. Um, Another one like a healing strategy, like kind of like a recreational therapy per se, and things like that too. Another modality that you can use, which is really good. Um, so check it out. I don't know if it's Fishing Chaos, KBF. A lot of cool things going on, and it's a nice little community. That's where we've met. My husband's met a lot of people. I've met people, haven't met them in person, but met them, talking to them in the chat and stuff on various YouTube channels when others go live and stuff like that too. So, it's really nice. The prizes and stuff that they give away, and the challenges that they do and stuff like that. So, absolutely, if you like the outdoors, if you like fishing and you fish and you like to fish to help a hero on the water, you know what? Look up Fishing Chaos. So, Kayak Adventure Series runs on TourneyX. So there you go. So I wasn't paid for that advertisement. That was just something that I decided to do on my own because I know there's a lot of fishing fanatics And so if you do like fishing again, Tourney X, get on like Fishing Chaos, KBF. There's a lot of wonderful things that, that they do and stuff like that. So thank you, Scott. I'm going to say that I am. I want to catch like a 22 incher. I was going to say a 22-pound. Holy smokes, the sucker would probably drag me on the water. But that would be pretty cool. I'm kind of excited. Now that I look at things and I took, a little bit of time to reflect on some of the things that I did, that I didn't do this year. And that more or less was, um, getting out there. I should have really just been out there for the sake of fishing. And just, the calm and cool relaxation that it does. But instead I kind of let it eat at me because I wasn't catching anything. And so, I think in the midst of it, God was teaching me a lesson. Like, you have to have patience, but also it's not, um, uh, you know, um, yeah, I was reading that. Sorry. And really, so God was really working on me and showing me patience during all of it. And, I just was kind of missing it. And so at the end, I think that even though I really wanted to catch a fish, it just, I let maybe my pride and my patience kind of get in the way of it, and I just became frustrated because, again, um, people around me were catching fish, but I just wasn't, and so I'm so used to catfishing, being able to just feel it, and so it's different trying to feel it through my fingertips, and again, that comes back to mind and body connection. And so that's how you build mindfulness. That's how you become aware of feeling the fish on the rod. And so, those are things that I've learned over the last few months as far as, um, really looking at, being more mindful when I cast, being more mindful of feeling, watching the rod, and feeling for the tug or whatever, so I can set the hook and things like that too. So, well, good. Is Drew the one that does the catch boards? I don't know. Wait, is that his name? I don't know. I'll be getting a hold of him and saying, dude, I advertised on my channel. Now you can advertise me on your channel. Advertise my conference. Be all right. But yeah, I mean, because I just know how much it really helps. I mean, I see how much it helps all of you. Um, and things like that too. So, well, yeah, I mean, yes, and it is. It's, when, the more that you're on the water, the more that you learn. What's challenging for me. Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure like what the catch dude's name was. Yeah, that's not his name though, is it? What is his name? I can't remember, but I know for me, it's just going, switching from, catfish, and then switching from catfishing into bass fishing. Duke, that's his name. See, I knew it began with a D. I was just on the wrong rest of the letters. And so for me, like, I'm heavy-handed anyway, so when I go to fling it, I'm flinging it too hard. And so I'm casting it too hard. And so, again, I have to be mindful of what I'm doing. And so those are things that I looked at over the course of, the last couple of months was, being mindful of things, being mindful of casting. What am I casting? Where am I casting? Making sure that I'm not casting like I want to beat up somebody, uh, knock them over the head, and things like that too. So yeah, so really being mindful of all of those things and all of those changes, because it's different when you go from one type of fish to another. And you're really, and like, again, I'm very heavy handed, and so I have to pay attention, even when I'm coloring, I have to pay attention to be light handed, or I will draw everything dark, and stuff like that. And so that's why a lot of times, like, I don't wear a whole lot of makeup because I'm very heavy handed as well. I'll put on excessive because it's building mindfulness within me. And so, um, I was going to say that was a funny statement that you made there, Sly Fox. But a lot of people do enjoy fishing. It's a really good outdoor activity. And so just being out, whether you fish, hike, walk, just being out in nature is just amazing. We talk about that a lot. That's a part of recreational therapy, recreational coaching. Just being outdoors and whether you're outdoors and you're just sitting and absorbing the ions from the earth or the sun, the rays of the sunshine, whether you're in the woods and you're absorbing what the trees emit, the energy that they emit into the universe, and stuff like that. And so that's something for you, whether you're out there and you are journaling or you're doing something. Those are amazing things as well. And so, in the wintertime, it makes things a little bit harder. But there's some people that ice fish. You can go ice fishing if you choose to. It's the same thing. You can bundle up and go for a walk. You can bundle up and go for a walk through the woods because you'll still be able to hear things. And things like that too. So, during the winter, as we always said, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And then especially leading into 2025. Excuse me. I apologize. Leading into 2025, taking care of your health, and things like that too. So does anybody cook anything special on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day? I know some people like to cook, what is it? Sauerkraut, corned beef and cabbage, or sauerkraut and whatever else. Do you have a tradition that you make on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day? Do you have something that you make? Nah, yeah, neither do we. I always hear a bunch of people, saying that they're doing sauerkraut, pork sauerkraut, something, whatever it is, and stuff like that, because it's supposed to bring you good luck. But, well, I mean, you could do that. Black-eyed peas and collard greens. You could make those. I just go non-traditional. A lot of times when we do, that's it is a holiday. We are non-traditional people. Well, there you go. That's what I do. I'm like, well, I made it into another year. Oh, another thing that I would like to do. I say this all the time when we go to Indiana, but I can never get Sly to stop. It would be pretty neat, to be in two places at one time, like two states at one time. And so next time when the weather's a little bit warmer, um, I want to be able to, like that movie, Walk to Remember, where she straddled the state line. I was like, that would always be cool to be two places at once. And so that's definitely kind of a goal of mine that I'd like to do for this year. Try to do it a few times this year. But then when I thought about it, we were already way past the road, and I was like, oh crap. So I have to think about that, because that would just be pretty cool. So well, yeah, the Black Eyed Peas show you took a beating this year, the year before, and Collard Greens say you will make it better in the new year. Well, yes, they might have, Michael. I don't know. I like corned beef and cabbage, but um, things like that. Sauerkraut, I'll eat. I'll eat it with sausages, but I don't remember what it is. But people post it all the time. Because I just don't pay attention. I do. I don't. My family doesn't eat a whole lot of sauerkraut, but I do like eating sauerkraut on my sausages and stuff like that. But one of the things I really like making, and it's interesting because it kind of tastes like German potato salad. If you've ever had that, that's exactly what this tastes like. But I like making ranch potatoes, like loaded ranch potatoes with some sour cream. Yes, it is. Um, and so I like making that. Actually, that sounds kind of good. It's late right now to eat, but that actually does sound pretty good. Um, is loaded ranch potatoes, which is really good. And the recipe is really easy to make loaded ranch potatoes. And again, like I like to do, I like to put sour cream on them, and then it's like having a loaded baked potato. Really good. Another thing, another lady that I know. This is another good thing. A lady that I know, she cooks, and so that's one of her passions, and that's how she likes hosting. She likes cooking, and so she made you take I think it was crescent rolls. So you take crescent rolls, little smokies, a little piece of brie cheese, the little piece of brie cheese, one little thing of spicy mustard, or not spicy mustard. So well, it is the spicy mustard, but it's the brown. I guess it's not spicy, but the brown mustard. Um, and I think it was raspberry jam, raspberry jelly, maybe. And so what you do is you lay out your crescent roll, smear a little bit of the raspberry jelly on there, and then you put, I got to think for a minute, and then you put your little squirt of your mustard on there, your cheese, and then you roll up your sausage with it. And when it cooks, it's actually really good. And so she made those. She made some other kinds of, I'm going to call them pinwheels. When you use like the pastry puff, um, the whole entire pastry puff roll or whatever it is. We've used it. We've put ham and cheese on it and rolled it up and cut it up like you're doing cinnamon rolls. You could actually, thinking about that, you could use that to make cinnamon rolls. That's an easier version. Or whatever you can put in it, but it's actually an easy lunch, dinner, whatever you want. And so I actually made some Hog Heaven dip, which we buy these little dip mixes, and you put sour cream and mayonnaise in it. And so we dipped it in that, and it was actually really, really good. And so it's just things different. Instead of having, I like to do non-traditional. And so I really like, learning different things from our friend Amy. And so those are a couple things that I was like, oh, those things are really good. And they're not time consuming. It's not going to cost a whole lot of money to feed your family. Yes, it was Pam's Pantry Dips. Yes, I just didn't want to say that because, I'm not, I could have said it anyway, but more promotional material. But their Hog Heaven is just amazing. Everything that we've had, we did. So I did Hog Heaven for the dip, and then I did. I believe it was pineapple, like a pineapple dip, and what it is, it's cream cheese. I know it's all right. And it's cream cheese and a thing of Cool Whip, and it's so good. You can use like graham crackers, animal crackers, things like that. So it's really good. And the Hog Heaven is really good with pretzels. So it's really good. No, I don't mind. I was just teasing because their dips really are good. And so, but those are some things. We'll see. I don't know what we're making. Just have some snacky foods and stuff like that. Have tons of desserts left over from Christmas and things like that. I need to get my cheesecakes in the freezer if we're not going to eat them so they don't go bad. Things like that. My Buckeyes, we got 2 dozen Buckeyes. So definitely have to get them in the freezer as well. So things like that as well. So yeah. So we're going on about an hour and 35 minutes. It's 9:20. I don't want to keep you guys much longer. Just want to come on here, kind of talk about our purpose for 2025. Get some things going, get some fire, going around to help us reach our purpose in 2025. Be that inspiration, be that empowerment to help us reach The goals, what are the purposes, what are our goals? But in order to have goals, there has to be a purpose. There has to be a motivation behind the goal. You just can't say it. There has to be a motivation, because that motivation is actually what helps the consistency to keep it going, to keep that momentum going, in the small steps to get that going, and things like that too. So, and maple syrup comes from Canada. Oh yeah, yeah. That's I don't remember what she called it. It's something like that. I like how he said that the maple syrup comes from Canada. That's funny. Scott blasphemy. Does the best maple syrup come from Vermont? You'll have to send me some and let me be the test, because I have fresh maple syrup right from Ohio, not too far from us, where they make their own. I was thinking it was called like wasn't pigs in a blanket. It's kind of similar to that. Yes. Uh, pigs in a haystack. I don't know. It was something. It wasn't pigs in a blanket, but yeah, that's a good one too. I like doing that. I like taking crescent rolls and wrapping hot dogs in them too. That's always a good thing. Yep, Aunt Jemima, you got it. So it's so funny looking at having real maple syrup versus the other kind, the Aunt Jemima and all that stuff. It's really I forget how runny it is, and I was like, oh, yep. So that's a good one, Michael. And then I'm like, oh crap, I just poured half the body on, or half the body, half the bottle on my pancakes or waffles, because I forget how runny it is. So, like, yep. Yeah, maple candy is good. So, um, um, they have farmers markets around here, and there's a lot of local people that do a lot of honey, a lot of maple syrup, and so they make like the honey sticks, the maple candy. Um, they made a maple sugar too, which was really good. So they do a lot of different things. So I guess maybe I can send you a small bottle, and you can compare, and you can see, because they manufacture themselves, so it's not going through a whole lot of stuff. No, it's fine. I'm only teasing though anyway, but I'm sure it's really good. Either way, we got to stop talking about food. I'm going to get hungry. I'll be going in the house, be like, I want waffles or pancakes or something. Get out the syrup. Be wanting hot dogs, something like that. So, maple sugar is good. I also like coconut sugar. It's another good thing. Monk fruit. Yeah, no, I don't want no more Cinnabon. Holy mackerel, no. I already had one. Yeah, and that would be. I like that they do that too, with the pure maple syrup and stuff like that too. So they have so they have like I'm sure like farmers markets and stuff there too, so they can promote a lot of their syrups and stuff like that too, which is good. All right, everyone. Well, we are at the 9:25 mark. We have been on for about an hour and 40 minutes. And so, really talking about things, talking about tradition, non-tradition, taking care of our mental health leading into 2025. Really getting ahead of patterns, how we can change patterns leading into 2025. All types of things that we can do to help us reach our goals. And remember, small steps equals big success. and things like that too. So when we meet again next year, we'll be in a new year. And so I'm looking forward to see what really looking forward to see what 2025 brings for each and every one of us. And so I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here. If you do go out for the new year, I just pray not only blessings, but I pray a hedge of protection over, each and every one of you, over your family, whether you're going out or not, to be safe while you're traveling to and from your destinations. You make it home safely. And just praying for peace, blessings, for comfort, for healing, for each and every one of us, prosperity, abundance, a lot of different things that we, be praying for. So there you go. That would be good. You can get a sponsor. I'd sponsor you if I was making some money, but soon. I keep manifesting that I'm going to make 6 figures this year. So that's something that I will draw into existence. And so again, God bless each and every one of you. Have a good night, and I will see you again next Monday. I will let you know if the time changes. I'm going to try to switch it to 7:30 and stuff. And if I do, you will get the notification. So good night, everyone. Happy New Year. Blessings upon blessings. Be safe out there, and we will catch you next week. Good night, everyone.